Hi there and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be making a new journal. I am very excited about this one. I thought I'd have a chat with you first before I get started because I want to do things a little bit differently, a bit out of my comfort zone, something I haven't done before, but I want to try something new. So I thought I'd chat about it first. So you may have seen this book already. My lovely friend Romy sent it to me. We saw it in her house clearance shop and I looked at it. Do you know they're £1? Why didn't I pick it up? And I came away because I instantly saw it and thought, we've moved near a train station, this would be perfect. And then I thought, no, I don't need it. I keep saying that to myself a lot since we've moved house. I don't want to get back with all the clutter like I had before. And then, you know, when you can't stop thinking about something, that's how this has felt. And I'd mentioned it in a video. I was showing my haul and I spoke about this book. Next thing I know, Romy's bought it and she sent it to me. So thank you very much, Romy. I am so excited to get started with this one. So it feels very special. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the type of journal that this is going to be. It's going to be a weekly journal. You know, I've made them before and I love them. I have really missed them. I've done my new home journal. I've got my trip journals on the go. I just miss that every day. Just kind of like free journaling, something that's not themed. I can use whatever I want. I really miss that, and I felt too overwhelmed at the start of the year. I had too much going on. Then I finished my new home journal and that felt really good, and I'm really missing it now. So it feels like the perfect time to start this journal, and it's going to be a different kind of journal to what I've ever done before. I've spoken about freedom journaling and how I want to be free with my journaling. I'm going to be taking that up a notch, and it's going to be super free journaling. Free journaling on another level. I'm excited, I really am. So I'm going to be talking about that throughout the video as well. Anyway, let's show you what I've chosen. Quite often I'll do these videos and I'll go through and choose bits and pieces. However, another change I'm making, I love colour, as you know. I'm going to keep this one muted. And I've been going through all my papers. They are all so bright and colourful. I don't really have many muted tones. But what I want to do is, with this being my ultra freedom journal, I want to have the freedom to create whatever I want in here. And I don't want to be held back by any colour that's in here. So I'm going to keep it really toned down, and then add the colour as I go throughout. So that's going to be fun. I don't want to be held back by anything in this journal. So I'll show you what I've chosen. I have chosen, we've got some large graph paper. I have got a paper bag. I have got some squared paper. I have got this book here. I've forgotten what you call these, remind me. I'm going to be using that paper as well. I went through, I had an old junk journal kit from Miss Paper Lover and I have used almost all of it now, but look what was hiding inside there. That is so cool. So we're going to be using that. I have also got some script paper, nice and neutral. I just want the neutrals. I've also got this like vintage, beautiful music paper. Scrapbooking papers, I don't have many. I've got this one. I have got this one. This one is going to be the most colour. I like it on that side, but then it is a little bit brighter on that side. And this one has a little bit of colour as well, but I think it will be, oh, I've got two here. I love this one because it's homely, but it's nice and neutral on the other side. And this one is also nice and neutral. And then I found this in Miss Paper Lover's kit. This is really cute. I made this when I think it was about 5. It was in one of my kits that I found in the loft when we moved house. So I'm going to include that at the start. And then I've also got a fabric napkin, which I'm going to use as well. This was actually that I bought this in one of the in the house clearance shop when I was with Romy, so I'm going to include that as well. I'm very excited. We're going to keep it really neutral, and then we're going to add the fun afterwards. Fabric wise, now the cover, I am going to be attempting my first go at a soft cover. I spoke about this, picking up some tips from some of you from my Patreon. Anne-Marie said she uses a soft Amazon envelope, so I'm going to try that. And then I've got some fabric. I'll show you. I wanted a pop of red to go with the colour. We're going with like reds and greens. So, but I wanted something a little bit pretty. So we're going to go with that. And then I've got green lace to go with it. And my thread. We're sorted. It's going to be a really nice one. I'm a little bit anxious because I haven't done one like this before, but that's all part of the excitement, isn't it? So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, because remember we're doing everything different this time, we are going to be making the signatures first. Always previously I've worked on the cover, however we're doing the signatures first. I really hope you'll enjoy this. Right, let's get all this tidied up, one thing at a time. So let's focus on signatures. I'm just going to start by folding, I think. Let's see how large this is. I am going to, I think, cut that down slightly like that. This one will be the same. I quite like leaving the little branding strips on there. I think this one's quite sweet actually. There we go. And I've had another one as well. I've actually hacked into that one already. Let's fold that one over and see how I feel about this. Let's take this off there. I do quite like that actually. It's a little bit different. So I think maybe I will keep that like that. Different is good, right? So we've got those. What am I doing with this one? This one is crazy. I love this one. If I fold it over, that's a little bit on the big side. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to fold that over like that. No. Let's fold it over like that. It's a little bit too big, so I am going to take some of that. And all of this will be in my junk box. That's a good size now. Cool. And this one, I might do similar here as well actually. Let's take some of that. Oh, that was two separate ones, so I'm going to have to do this one slightly different now. So we'll have one like that and one like that. Keep those buried. Paper bag, I'm just going to keep that easy and just do that one in half. I've got two lots of graph paper here. This definitely needs cutting down. Let's take, I'll have a shorter page. I like to have the pages slightly varied, just so you can see bits from other pages when you open them. So they're going to be a little bit on the shorter side. I think this graph paper is going to be fine. Yep, we've got two pieces of that. Right, that is massive. I don't really want to cut it. I might actually go with a smaller one. don't have to have a napkin. I've got some nice ones. That one's quite pretty. What else have I got in here that would be nice? Obviously I can add certain bits and pieces. Oh, I used this one in one of my other journals. This one might be a nice one actually because of the green. Size wise it's still a little bit on the big side. It was perfect for one of my others. I don't want to cut them down. I love the doilies. What would you do in this situation? I think I might leave that at the moment. I'm going to leave the fabric for now. I could do that one. No. Might be something that I add at a later date. Not the end of the world. Right, I'm happy with all that. Oh, the other thing I've got. Let's have a look here. Let's go to the middle and take those. I think I'm doing 2 signatures. There we go. I'm going to do exactly the same here. In fact, I might take a little bit from the bottom and a little bit from the top. Tell me about the most recent journal that you've made. What have you been up to? And I am going to fold these in. I think that would be fun. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. And then what have we got here? How are these coming out? I think we can take these. Just trying to see if they've got any centres. Yes, that's a centre there. Perfect. And I will add one of those in each signature. Love those. That was another one of the £1 finds in Romy's clearance shop. Right. Oh, the other thing, obviously, I've got paper from this as well. I don't know how I feel about this. It's quite dark, but it does go with the book. Right, let's see if we can find some middles. Like that is a middle, but I don't want to include that. Let's tear it out anyway. What else have we got? I don't know. It's more the cover that I loved rather than the actual book. That, however, is beautiful. I love that. Right. Where's the other side of that? That is over here. I've probably gone in really hard on that, haven't I? Actually, that's fine. I really want to include that. What else is in here that I really love? Because obviously bits can be covered up, can't they? Is there any other really pretty artwork that I would like to use? It's quite dark, isn't it? That's quite nice. I do like that. It's beautiful actually. Let's include that one. What's on the other side of that one? Oh, and we've got that one as well. Yes, I'm wanting to include these. I love these. And I won't actually journal over these. Or I could add some journaling, but I feel like keeping those as they are because they are really beautiful. Do you agree? Oh, that's nice. That's so cool. That's in Italy, I think. Oh, that one's really nice as well. It's in Canada. Railways across the seas. I like the coloured pictures. They make me happy. What else is in? Oh, that's a nice one as well. I think I might have enough though. I don't want to overdo it. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that? That one's so nice as well. What's on the other side of that one? That one. We're obviously going to be removing all the pages anyway. Right. I think I've got my colourful pages. I'm happy with those. I didn't like that one. I saw that one before, but it's a crash. We don't want any crashes. Oh, I love the one with the castle. Maybe we could have one more. That one's really nice. Oh, the railway album. I like that. Right. I was actually looking to see if any of them were... Oh, that one isn't going to work actually because it's attached to the front page, so we'll ignore that. Yeah, I was having a look to see if there was any that we've been on, like in the States or something. Oh, that one's nice. That one's really nice. That one, and we'll have contents as well. I quite like the thought of that. Right, let's have a little look now at what we've got. I've ended up taking more out of that than I realised. Right, so signature number 1. I got 1 or 2. It's quite thick actually. That's the first one, and I will go over something. I like the idea of a contents page. So I want to try and keep it as varied as possible. Let's use a bone to just really flatten that. I am really excited about this journal. Actually, let's go with one of these. I wasn't sure how I was going to be doing this. I think I'm going to do it just the same as the others. There we go. And the other thing as well, that I don't want them to stick out too far. I'm going to do that as well. There we go. So we've got that one. What else have we got? I want to try and vary them up a little bit. This is going to be so much fun. Let's have graph paper next. On the other side of graph paper is just plain, and that's absolutely fine. And like I said, I'm going to do 2, I think. I'm going to have a paper bag there, and then music paper. Or let's add some graph paper as well. And I want to have plenty of space to add things in this journal. I don't want to feel restricted at all. There. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shall we do 10? What do you think? No, I might leave it at that. And then we are going to have the next one. Let's start with this one, I think. And if I go straight in with some neutrals. Yeah, so my thought behind this is I'm not going to get hung up on dates. You know just how I am with my trip journals. I'm going to feel exactly the same, and I'm just going to do what takes my fancy. So obviously I've got some bits and pieces from over the year. I'm not going to go back and try and recreate the year. I've decided that already. But I have got some memories that I do want to document, so I will go over them, read. My plan is to do bits and pieces but I'm not going to get hung up about doing it in date order. I'm going to be driven by what I fancy doing, what I'm in the mood for doing, almost like how the journal calls out to me. If I'm in the mood for working on a family day out, then I will do that. I'm not going to be driven by what colour page is, what the date is, anything like that. I'm just going to be, this is going to be like my ultimate freedom journal, and it's just going to be driven by excitement, passion, what I'm in the mood for doing. I'm just trying to find some of those. Where was that really beautiful coloured one? That was it there. I love that one. That is so pretty. So yeah, it's going to have quite a different feel, and I feel really excited about that. Right, let's have a little count and see what we've got in this one. I've got no paper bags or anything like that in this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 in this one. So I think then maybe I should add one more in this one, so it's equal. How about that? I did have this one, but that's not going to work. That's going to need to be stuck in somewhere. Just having a look at the pretty colours. Is that one? Oh, there's just 2 more left. Let's go with this one. Yep, that's quite nice and plain as well. Done! We have got our 2 signatures. The reason I'm not doing 3 is because I don't want to overload it. Also, sometimes I find it too much. It's just too overwhelming. And so it's a bit like when you have a to-do list, isn't it? The less you put on there, the less overwhelming it is. And I want this journal to feel exactly the same. I want it to be 100% joy and nothing else. So no overwhelm or anything. Right. If these do stick out slightly, I can trim them down. So that's not the end of the world because it's sticking out just a little bit. I'm happy with that. Right, let's move on to the second part. I am now going to move on to this journal. Let's grab a knife. These pages will all be used in other various projects. Romy, that shop of yours, it was amazing. It's the best thrifty kind of store I have ever been in, and so reasonably priced. All of these books were £1. I bought other ones as well, I think. Oh, I bought this one as well. The same kind of book. I would seriously be in there probably every day if I lived nearby. Right, I want to make sure that I look after this. I don't want to damage it, although obviously I'm removing the spine. Let's take that out. There we go. That's all nicely intact. You can see all the little signatures there actually, can't you? All bound beautifully together. Now, this needs to be much, much wider. I think I might just remove that. And we're going to tidy it up a little bit and give it a whole new life, aren't we? We're going to make it loved again. I wonder who this belonged to. Do you ever think things like that about books? It'd be really interesting to know, wouldn't it, whose house it was in? Was it a book that was given as a gift? What's the story behind it? I would love to know. Right, I am going to trim this, I think. Oh, that's trimming so easily along the fabric there. That's really nicely done. It's so worn. I wonder how old this book is. There we go. All right, I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up on my desk because it's on the messy side now. So I now want to cut my spine to size. So the reason that I am not doing a hard spine, so most of my journals are really sturdy, hard spines. I want this one to have a little bit of give in it. That's what I'm thinking. To make it a bit more bendy, a bit more flexible with opening out when I've put so much in it. There's no doubt I will. Generally, no matter how large the spine I make, it's never big enough. But I don't want a super bulky spine with this one, so I thought I would try this and see how it goes. Right, let's cut that straight, and we're going to make a lovely spine. But because we're doing things differently with this one, we're going to attach the signatures first. I said it was going to be different, didn't I? Right, so that's the... I should maybe have watched a video of somebody else doing something like this instead of just making it up as I'm going along, because knowing me, it could well turn out to be a disaster. Right, how large shall we make this one? We're going to make it bendy, aren't we? And I always say go larger. Right, I've gone larger. Let's grab my trimmer actually. I don't know why I didn't just grab this in the first place. So yeah, my advice is always, whatever you decide to go with, go a little bit larger. And we're obviously going bendy as well. There, that's decent, isn't it? That's a good width. But it's bendy, which is what we're after. Okay, I like that. So now we move the spine away. So we're just left with that. And now we are going to do our measurements on here. I need a scrappy piece of paper that's the same size as the spine. This scrappy piece will be perfect. So we're going to cut this to size, and this will be our template for... Obviously I could have done 3 signatures and made them smaller, but I've decided not to. It probably would be easier actually sewing them in, wouldn't it? There we go. Right, and then you've seen me do this before. Half and half again and half again, fold in half and half again and half again, and we are going to have one here, one here, one here, and the same over here. I need to sharpen my pencil. Right, that's where they're going. Now add some clips. We haven't got any tiny pages this time, so that helps us out. Everything should be nicely inside. Always as well double check just to make sure you've got everything up the right way. I have made that mistake before. It's an easy one to do as well. When you're really concentrating on things, sometimes you can overlook the obvious things. I'll keep an eye on the time as well. I've set an alarm saying that I've got a hairdresser appointment this afternoon. My first one since I've moved. Right, that's budged. Let's try that again. Just want them to stay together for when I sew. That's better. That's much better. Right. And then I am just going to use this to make my holes. Actually, you know what I need? I need my book binding kit. I don't know why I'm using the pencil then. So this is a little kit that I bought on Amazon. It's about £10 and it's got everything with it. It even comes with a scorer. It comes with these amazing needles, the paper piercer. It comes with string. It comes with all sorts. It's really, really good. This is the important thing. Right, so let's pop that here. Just want to make sure that is in there. This just makes it so much easier. That was, I don't know if I say this every time, that I've used the pot, I've washed it up. It was a pumpkin candle from Anthropology. It's my favourite. It just smells so good. I've got one of these with the actual candle in, but I don't burn it in the new house, but I've got the candle in it downstairs on the sofa, by the sofa. It just smells amazing. Right, I'm happy with that. And this is, I'm just feeling a bit funny because this is the first time that I'm actually doing this. So let's do this here as well. So if I make mistakes, I apologise. If you think that there's a better way of doing it, please leave a comment below. I've got bits of wax on here now. I think I must have had some in here from the bottom of the pot. But yeah, this is a learning curve. I'm trying something different. And different is good, isn't it? It's nice to have a change and try new things. Right. There we go. I think that's okay. I'm going to pierce these as well. I always find it easier to try and pierce things like this rather than go through everything. I find that quite tricky sometimes, and that's when I make my mistakes. Right, scissors and thread. So we want 2 and a bit, which is plenty. Let's do 2 of those. I love this green. I think it's so pretty. And this, I bought a big bag of different coloured mixed wax threads as well. The wax ones are so much better. I've made the mistake of using regular thread and it does end up snapping, even if it feels really strong. But after a while it will give. But this was, again, I think it's about £10. I'll leave the link to everything I'm using on my Amazon storefront, just in case you want to go and have a look. Right, let's grab a needle. I feel nervous. I always get really nervous doing things like this. Right, so where are we starting? I'm going to tie on the inside because I would like some of the thread showing. So we'll leave a decent amount on the inside there, and we'll tie that in a nice bow. Because I'm doing a hidden spine this time, we won't see the pretty thread on the outside, or at least I don't think we will. Could all be that I end up doing something completely different, that it doesn't quite go as I plan. Who knows? Right, let's go back up through the top one there, and then through, oh, I've got wax on there as well, and then through this one. That's why I find it easier to pierce in sections. So I can go through this one, and then the idea is to come up through this one. There we go. That was easier to do it like that. And then back through this one. And then back through the middle again, or the end one. What's your favourite way to do a journal as well? Do you have a favourite? And do you tend to always stick to the same ones, or do you like to change it up a little bit as well and try different techniques? I think it's fun to try different things. Right, check that it's nice and tight, which it is. And we are going to tie that nice and securely. We do not want this coming apart. That has also happened to me a few times. That's how we learn things, isn't it? And tie that in a double knot. There, that green is so pretty. I like that. Excellent. First signature is done. I like that. Right, now onto the second one. Let's make sure this is all organised and up the right way. No upside down pages. Yep, that all looks good. Right, and now we're going to... Oh, where's my middle pages? Right, these ones are a little bit on the shorter side. I'm going to lift them up actually, because I want to include them there. If your pages are shorter than your clips, you can just add some washi tape just to make sure it stays in. I think I might just get away with that one, but I've had to do that before. Right, now we are going to do exactly the same here. Let's measure this up and make sure these have all moved a little bit. Oh, and I'm just going to double check that that's correct. I want it to go through the centre. This piercer just works so well. It's like a hot knife going through butter. It's so good. Right, and we've got our thread already cut. So let's do this. If you're a younger person, please ask a grown-up to give you a hand, because this is sharp, and be careful of any furniture when you're going through as well. Right, middle one, let's go through. This one's quite fragile, so it'll be interesting to see how that actually lasts. That's something else that's happened where my pages do come apart sometimes. There we go. And then up through that one. Let's see, I might need to do this one in sections actually. Whoops! Let's try that again. I feel really nervous. I get really a bit shaky when I do this. I don't know why, because it's only for me. It's not like I'm making it for anyone else. This one I did do a bit crooked. Oh, my battery's going to go. Let's try that again. So that one's through there. We are going through the end and up through this one. I think I might stand this one up. I'm struggling with this one a little bit. Let's do this one. And I'm going to do them in stages, I think. There we go. I needed to go through the layers on this one, and then we'll add the square paper at the end and through the middle. At least now that one is secure. And this one's already sewn in, so that should be easier. And through the other hole. Paper is so holey, it's difficult to see where the hole is. And then we need to tighten it all up. I've got messy with this one. Oh, right, I've tidied it all up, tightened it, and now it can be tied in a bow just like the other one in the centre. And that should be good to go. Let's take the clips off. There. I am pleased with that. I've got my two signatures in there. So this is now the interesting part. I haven't obviously done anything like this before. So now we have to attach our journal to here. Oh, let's make sure we get it the right way. I have done that wrong, haven't I? We want this on this side and this on this side. I need to get some clear tape. So now I'm going to make this cover. I've done it a little bit, oops, topsy-turvy, I think. I'll tell you why in just a moment. Let's trim this down though, our cover. Well, that, oh no, I want it to go that way. Let's mark that off down there. Yeah, I'll show you what I've done and maybe what I should have done. So it's going to be tricky to pop this in here. It's doable, but it's going to be a little bit tricky. So what I'm thinking about doing is making a spine here with the fabric and then attaching to that. That's what I think I'm going to do. So I want to make sure that it's wider like that. Don't shout at me. It's all about having fun and experimenting, and this is how we learn, isn't it? And we have fun in doing so. Right, that's my rather chunky spine. I am going to use some tape. Remember to leave just a little bit of a gap, just so that the journal can be lovely and bendy. There we go, that's a good gap. And here as well. That's a good gap too, try and keep it equal. And then I'm going to cut some of this down actually, because I don't want it on the outside of my cover. And this tape is quite wide. There we go. That's a little bit better. And this one, and then we'll cover it in fabric. That one's a little bit on the wider side there. I've cut that crooked. I might just trim that slightly. There we go, and we're going to do exactly the same here to make it nice and sturdy. And then we'll cover it in fabric to make it pretty, and then we'll attach the signatures. There we go. Nice, and that's the bendy cover that I was after. I am pleased with that. Excellent. Really pleased with that. Right, let's get this fabric on. Let's see what that looks like on here. It's going to be pretty. I like this. I think this is really pretty. That one's a little bit on the crooked. I want my other scissors. Oh, I think they're downstairs. I don't think any of these. Oh, this one, these might cut through. I need to get some fabric scissors. These cut really well actually. These are just small ones from Dunelm, part of a set. I'm just being lazy, I couldn't be bothered to iron it. So I've cut off the wonky bit instead. Right, we want some to go over. Let's cut that. Like that. We will be adding lace, so don't worry too much if it's wonky, because we will tidy up those little bits afterwards. So that's our cover like that, which I am happy with. Now I am going to add this magic red tape, which is amazing and super strong. And since I've been using this, I don't use the glue anymore. It just holds it so well. I'll leave a link to this down below as well. I need to go and get some more. It's in my glue box downstairs. And then we're just going to remove the backing. Let's lay the fabric over the top. Make sure it's as flat as possible. I need to start thinking about making Mickey ears again, ready for our Disney trip. Oh, I might actually put another one on in the middle there. That was bumping up a little bit. Yeah, I like to make my own Mickey ears for our Disney trips. I buy ears in Primark just for myself. I don't sell them or anything. And then I can have them match my outfits. It's really cool. I love doing that. Last time I left it right to the last minute, so I don't want to do that this time. I want to enjoy it. Right, I've got a little bit higher on one side than the other. That's fine. And then this will then sit inside. Perfect. I think this is going to work out fine. So let's add some more tape along the bottom. I want to make it in. If you do weekly journals, what kind of thing do you do? What kind of journal do you have? What do you include? I'd love to hear from you. I find weekly journaling really freeing. It's not so much the content, but it's just about doing anything that I want to, picking up something when I'm out, a leaflet. I'll leave a link to my last weekly one so you can see just bits and pieces, packaging. I just like the fact that it is more junk journaling for me, but I like the fact that every page I make is completely different. Whereas generally, if you're doing a travel journal or something, you are kind of doing similar kind of things, aren't you? Especially with a Disney journal. And I love doing them, don't get me wrong. But I just like, it's nice to vary them. Nice to do something a little bit different. But I definitely feel a huge sense of freedom when I'm making this kind of journal. Sometimes as well it could be just talking about how you're feeling, that kind of thing, what's going on in your life. It's very current, but I am not getting hung up on dates, keeping up. This is going to be the most free I think that I've ever journaled. And I'm really excited to do that. Right, I was actually thinking about having some strips down there. I think I might do that actually. And then we'll have the other bit inside. I think that will make sense. Isn't that? Let's try and get this as close to that in size as possible. I really do like this ribbon. It's so pretty. And it's quite a contrast to the train book, but it's so pretty. It doesn't matter that it's skew-if because most of that will be covered up, and I will add lace or something on the inside as well. That's the good thing with crafting. There are no such things as mistakes. You can have happy accidents, and sometimes I think my favourite things have happened because of happy accidents. There's no such thing as a mistake because you can always cover something up, can't you? That's what stickers were invented for. I spend my life covering things up, whether it be I've made a spelling mistake or I've smudged my ink, something's gone in upside down, or something's gone in and then it's shifted and suddenly it's wonky. I do things all the time. But it's fine, it's only paper, isn't it? Right, I need to trim those up. I'll do that at the end. And like I said as well, that's how we all learn as well. By doing things differently. And it's always interesting to hear how others do things as well, because our brains all function in different ways, and everyone can look at something and get an idea, and then the next person next to you would look at the same thing and just have a completely different idea. We all problem solve in different ways. So So, and what looks right to one person doesn't always look right to another. So there are definitely no rights and wrongs with this hobby, that's for sure. Right, let's put that in. I might go actually that way. I think that would be better. There. I'm going to trim that before the signatures go in because it will be easier to move. And I don't mind a little bit overlapping because there will be so much overlapped in here, all the tabs and various other bits and pieces, but I will try and tidy it up slightly. There. Cute. Make sure that's up the right way. So now we have our beautiful journal. And before I put the pages in, I am going to add the lace as well. I'm not adding charms or anything like that on this one. I want to keep this one completely different. I'm going to add this lace here though. I've just put the hot glue gun on. Trim that because it's been marked by the tape. And we are going to have that on there. That is so pretty. And it's going to run all the way around on both sides. And I'm going to do a bit more underneath this side. I think I'll just do it in stages. I'm now wanting to get ready to stick this in. So I am going to use more of the red tape just because I know this sticks so well. And that is then going to go into the journal. I really want to make sure I get this up the right way around. I did that once before. I put the whole thing in upside down when I made a journal once. Or was it just a page? It might have been just a page actually I did upside down. But I was making it separately to put inside. And yeah, I got it completely wrong. Right, and now sticking this in. Oh, let's try that again. Just want to try and make sure I get it central. Yes. And okay. Right. That is actually good. I am happy with that. That is cute. In hindsight, I wish I'd done prettier, but that's fine because we're going to have so many other bits and pieces. That is in slightly wonky. I'm aware of that. I always seem to do that second one a little bit on the wonky side. Now I am going to add something to here. Yeah, I think I will actually. That will cover that up quite nicely and then add lace over the top. Right, let's have a look at this. I have added with the glue gun the ribbon on the side and I've added a piece in the middle as well. I just want this to be different to any other one that I've made. I am unsure about the center at the moment, but that actually fits perfectly. I'm going to add that. I really like that. If I were to do this again, and I would do this type of journal again, I will use pretty tape for the signature here. Not pretty tape, sorry, pretty papers. That was where I made my mistake. If you want to do like a natural sort of like type of journal though, that would be absolutely perfect. I'm wanting mine to be kind of like vintage meets pretty. That's what I'm wanting. Yeah, that looks like it was actually made for that space, doesn't it? It looked really, really good. I love that. I love the tape as well that you can reposition it. How cute is that? That's what I mean when there's no such thing as a mistake with this hobby. Have I completely covered? I have. I feel like I still want something to go along there. Could actually add that. I quite like that. To add along with that kind of like rusticy feel. That's slightly wonky, but that's not the end of the world. That doesn't bother me. It's a handmade journal at the end of the day. It's mine. It's not for anybody else. So it's totally acceptable, right? There we go. And I'm going to leave that side because this one is really frayed and I really like that. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Right, let's have a look at this journal and see how we're doing. I love the soft cover, the spine, really happy with that. I love the hidden binding, which I've never done before. I'm not going to add corners, I want it to be rustic. Got glue on the edge and this cover. And then as we open it, I am so happy with this. Let's have a proper, oh look at that, isn't that beautiful? I am really happy with that. Oh, there's my glue stick I was looking for. Got a little pocket there with the bag. I am really chuffed. This has just turned out so cute. Really pleased. I hope you've enjoyed this. I have loved making this and it's felt really refreshing to make something different to what I've ever made before. Then on to the next signature. And then I can add other bits and pieces, can't I? I can add all my pockets. I love that. And make things as I go along. I didn't want it kind of like, I love that there. I didn't want it pre-thought out. I just wanted to give myself a proper blank canvas and I feel I've really done that with this journal. The ideas and everything is just endless now. I'm really excited to get started in this one. Oh, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's given you some ideas and I'd love to hear from you as well and hear what you think, what I could have done better, what you would have done different, and what kind of journals you're working on right now. I'm so happy with this. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Who knows, I might be creating in this journal. Lots of love. Bye.